We had been driving for weeks through ancient forests, supervolcanoes, snowstorms, all toward our goal, Glacier National Park. Somewhere past the Wyoming-Montana line, are we there yet? Stopped being a joke. We'd been chasing this one spot since we packed the car in Los Angeles. And then, without much warning, we were there. Our first real stop was Lake McDonald, the largest lake in the park, carved out by glaciers that have mostly disappeared, leaving behind glacial water so blue, we knew we had arrived.
So we are in Glacier right now, and it is pretty good. We both like it a lot, meaning me and Andrew. It's a nice place. A lot less crowded than Yellowstone was. And we set up camp. Camp is good. We got a good spot.
We hopped on one of the old tour boats, the kind that look like they've been quietly ferrying tourists since before any of us were born. Because they basically have. The guide pointed out peaks, told us a little history, and let the engine hum quietly while we just stared at the water and reminded ourselves that yes, this was real, and yes, we'd actually made it here.
So we went on a boat today, we just showered. Good day?
Good day.
Favorite part?
The boat. No, the old man shouldn't call old man.
We had an old ranger. Old man ranger.
It was in his twilight years, that's what he said.
He said almost 100.
And he's been working at Glacier for 56 years.
He gave the tour on the boat and repeated himself several times, but I still liked him.
And he gave a lot of good information and was very nice and winked at us.
But yeah, so we're going back to the campsite, hang out there for a little bit. Then we're going to get up early to try to beat the crowds to Avalanche Lake.
The start of the hike to Avalanche Lake starts with the Trail of the Cedars, a boardwalk loop through an ancient, towering cedar and hemlock forest that feels almost prehistoric. From there, the trail climbs alongside a creek carved deep into the rock by meltwater, eventually opening up into the lake itself, an ice-cold pool ringed by cliffs with waterfalls pouring down from the snowfields above.
How cold is the water gonna be? Oh, it's very cold. It's very cold. It was cold.
Back on the road, we made a stop that sounds like a joke, but isn't. The Goat Lick. Along Highway 2, there's a mineral-rich cliffside where mountain goats gather to lick exposed sodium and other minerals out of the rock. minerals they can't get enough of anywhere else nearby. It's one of the more reliable wildlife watching spots in the park, no trail required. We stood at the overlook for a while, watching a handful of goats pick their way down a near vertical slope like it was nothing, casually licking dirt while we white-knuckled the guardrail on their behalf.
We just, we're on the east side of Glacier and we're driving along. We saw like 20. They had babies. It was so cool.
Our next stop had two names. Most maps call it Trick Falls. Others call it Running Eagle Falls. In late summer, when the water is low, the falls appear to drop from a hole in the rock face, not from above. There's an underground channel that takes over once the upper falls dries up. The other name, Running Eagle or Pitamaka, was born into the Piikani, and from the time she was young, she was more interested in hunting and fighting than anything else expected of her. She rode with the men on buffalo hunts. She saved her father's life when an enemy war party attacked mid-hunt. When he was later killed in battle and her mother fell ill, she became the family's caretaker, and then found a way to share that responsibility so she could get back out on the land. Her reputation grew from there. Raid after raid, hunt after hunt, until the summer gathering came, and the Piikani chief did something almost unheard of. He asked a woman to stand up and tell her story among the warriors. When she did, he gave her a new name, Pitamaka, Running Eagle. Before Glacier was Glacier, this was Blackfeet land. The eastern slopes especially, where the mountains drop into the plains, the Blackfeet called this place the backbone of the world. In 1895, under pressure and the promise of much-needed funds, the Blackfeet Nation agreed to sell the mountainous strip that would later become the park's eastern half for $1.5 million. In exchange, they were guaranteed the right to continue hunting, fishing, and gathering timber on the land.
We then didn't see the land that you call the park, we didn't see that as a place for exploitation of natural resources. It was a place of our homeland. In September of 1895, late September, the government sent new treaty commissioners to meet with the people, and they called them all together. They said, we come to buy some of that land up there, those rocks, those mountains. And one of the leaders stood up and he said, well, we don't want to sell you any more land. And after 4 days, it looked like no agreement was going to be reached. And finally, something happened that last night, and some kind of an agreement was made, and we ceded the land that you call Glacier Park to the federal government for $1.5 $5 million.
Our people, they had different ways of recognizing that agreement that was signed. They says just the rocks was given to the people that wanted to do some mining. We just gave up the rocks, meaning the mountain. But after the agreement came out, it didn't come out that way.
So I firmly believe that we were hoodwinked out of that land.
So what would we say that area called Glacier National Park was? It was another chunk taken out of our full existence as a people. I think one of the real big impacts of why they sold the land, if they so sold it, is we had a starvation winter in 1883-84. I believe they thought that the money would provide resources for them to survive. Our people were literally starving to death.
We were put out of that. We were refused the rights within the Glacier National Park. And today we can't, the only right that we have now is to go through the park without paying. But we can't go in there and hunt. We can't go in there and use the wooded areas. It's we're all deprived from that, just because of that agreement.
The Blackfeet Nation is looking at the creation of their own national park. KPAX's Joe Hoostinga shares the environmental economic impact it could have for the tribe and their lands.
Right now, the Blackfeet Nation is looking at new ways to manage the tribe's agricultural resources with a feasibility study on the creation of a Blackfeet conservation area.
When we think about a Blackfeet conservation area, it'll be in two phases. The first looks at the feasibility for the creation of a national park, which would allow us to put a swath of land into permanent conservation. We're also looking at a national prairie land designation that would preserve prairie lands and prairie grasses.
Establishment of Blackfeet National Park could open the opportunity for the tribe to collect fees from the public to go toward resource management. The possible park area along the border of the Blackfeet Reservation and Glacier National Park would help protect one of the most intact ecosystems in the lower 48 states. It could also provide room for the tribe's goal of reestablishing free-roaming bison.
We could potentially look at connectivity between the Badger 2 Medicine and Chief Mountain that would allow for the reintroduction of E&E or bison back into the natural landscape.
Glacier National Park Superintendent Jeff Mao says while the tribal park would be solely controlled by the Blackfeet Nation, its goals of ecological and cultural preservation match with the mission of the National Park Service. He also says while there would be many details that need to be worked out, he hopes for a seamless border between the two parks.
Certainly for Glacier, we're suffering from the impacts of extremely high visitation. I think having a larger landscape to, provide opportunities for visitors is really a good thing.
Along with the goal of a national park, the protection of tribal rangeland is seen as an advantage for production of grass-fed livestock.
It'll put the Blackfeet tribe in a position to better market their agriculture products, in this case beef or bison, at a much higher rate.
The mission of agricultural and environmental sustainability brings their dream of economic sustainability for the tribe closer to reality.
At the end of the day, you're talking about the tribe's ability to really be a sovereign nation, right? To really have the ability to underwrite all of their own functions, management functions, whatever it may be, so that they're not at the behest of cyclical funding or the federal government.
Two Medicine, one of the park's most visited areas, takes its name from the sacred Medicine Lodge ceremony the Blackfeet held there. Our time in Glacier was never going to feel like enough. But the trip home was calling, and we'd already pushed the schedule about as far as it would go.
Hey, Moose.
There was one thing we didn't get to see. The Going to the Sun Road. The 50-mile mountain highway that cuts straight through the heart of the park, climbing over the Continental Divide at Logan Pass. Hadn't opened yet for the season. Snow still covered the high passes. Crews were still plowing. It happens every year. The road doesn't open until the mountain is ready. And in 2017, the mountain wasn't ready for us. We made our peace with it. Some things you leave for next time. What we couldn't leave behind, and didn't want to, was everything this stretch of road had given us. We came out here to see the parks. We left understanding something different about what they are, who they belong to, and what it really means to protect a place.
Goodbye, Glacier. It was our last night here last night, and it rained.
Eating breakfast.
We're off to Dillon, Montana. Thank you, Glacier.